Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went there? Or met someone new and forgotten their name just seconds later? Or spent hours studying, only to realize the next day that you barely remember anything? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Most people think they have a bad memory, but the truth is your memory is probably much better than you think. The real problem is that nobody teaches us how memory actually works. And today, you're going to learn 5 powerful techniques that can help you remember information faster, retain it longer, and learn more effectively. Make sure you stay until the end, because the last technique is used by some of the world's best learners and can completely change the way you memorize information. Let's get started. The first thing you need to understand is that your brain doesn't remember everything equally. Your brain is constantly deciding what is important and what is not. That's why you can remember a funny moment from years ago, but forget where you left your keys this morning. Your brain loves things that are interesting, emotional, unusual, and meaningful. Once you understand this, improving your memory becomes much easier. So let's talk about the first technique: visualization. Your brain remembers images much better than words. When most people try to memorize something, they repeat it over and over in their minds. But there's a better way. Turn information into a picture. For example, if you want to remember the word apple, don't just repeat the word. Imagine a giant apple bigger than a house rolling down the street. Make the image vivid. Make it strange. Make it memorable. The more unusual the image, the easier it becomes for your brain to remember it. This simple technique can instantly improve your recall. Now let's move to the second technique: create connections. Your brain is like a giant network. It remembers information better when new ideas are connected to things you already know. Think about it. It's much easier to remember a new fact when it relates to something familiar. For example, if you meet someone named Rose, imagine them holding a huge red rose. If you're learning a new concept, connect it to an experience from your own life. Every connection creates another pathway to the memory. And the more pathways you create, the easier it becomes to remember. Now here's where many people make a mistake. They spend hours rereading their notes. They read the same page again and again, believing they're learning. But in reality, they're creating an illusion of learning. The information feels familiar, but familiarity is not the same as memory. And that's why so many people forget what they studied during exams. Instead, use the third technique: active recall. After reading something, close the book, look away from your notes, and try to remember what you just learned. Don't worry if it's difficult. That's exactly the point. Every time your brain struggles to retrieve information, the memory becomes stronger. Think of it like lifting weights at the gym. The challenge is what creates growth. The harder your brain works to remember something, the stronger that memory becomes. Active recall is one of the most effective learning methods ever discovered, and yet most people never use it. Now let's talk about the fourth technique: spaced repetition. One of the biggest reasons people forget information is because they learn it once and never review it again. Your brain naturally forgets information over time, but spaced repetition helps stop that process. Instead of reviewing everything repeatedly in one day, review it at increasing intervals. Review it tomorrow, then a few days later, then a week later, then 2 weeks later. Each review strengthens the memory and helps move it into long-term storage. This method is used by top students, language learners, and memory experts around the world. And now we've reached the most powerful technique on this list: teach what you learn. This may sound simple, but it works incredibly well. After learning something new, try explaining it as if you're teaching it to someone else. You don't even need another person. Just explain it out loud. Pretend you're teaching a class, or imagine you're helping a friend understand the concept. When you teach, your brain is forced to organize information clearly. you quickly discover what you understand and what you don't. And every time you explain an idea, your understanding becomes stronger. That's why teachers often know their subjects so well. Teaching is one of the most powerful forms of learning. Now let's quickly review everything we've covered. First, use visualization. Turn information into vivid mental images. Second, create connections. Link new information to things you already know. Third, practice active recall. Test yourself instead of rereading. Fourth, use spaced repetition. Review information over longer periods of time. And fifth, teach what you learn. Explain concepts in simple words to strengthen understanding and memory. Here's the truth. People with amazing memories aren't born with special brains. They simply use better techniques. Memory is not a talent. It's a skill. And like any skill, it improves with practice. Start using these methods today, and you'll begin noticing a difference in how much information you can remember. Use them consistently, and you'll be surprised by what your brain is capable of. Because the goal isn't to work harder. The goal is to learn smarter. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.